Hey everybody, and welcome to my In 5 series on the Akai MPC, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. This is session 2.5, and first thing I was thinking is, I don't know that I'm super happy with the 808 bass anymore. I mean, it's okay, but when we start playing in like some of these extra audio, it's just not quite what I'm looking for. I can do one of two things. One thing might be just come in and start tweaking this sound. And I can do this. I can hold menu, go into program edit, and kind of play around here. I feel like the attack envelope or the release is one thing that you gotta do. I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna go to key group and select all, so I'm affecting all of these. And now you can hear it's pretty much gone. So around 84, 85. I mean, it's okay. It's just, it was like overwhelming with it being out at 127. And again, I could go in and do some sidechain, but if you kind of don't like the sound, it doesn't really matter. Maybe it's not worth taking the time. Kind of thinking like around 90, 95. I'm just trying to hear 92. Let's leave it at 92. I also maybe think we just need some effect or something. It's really just super low end. Maybe a diode clips. Let's see what we get, if anything. Nothing. All right, this is just really low. I think this goes against our clean sound. Distortion's probably no good. We could try filter and see. I'm just gonna hit the Q-Link button. See if overdrive, distort sometimes is decent. It's making it sound like it's knocking a little bit more, maybe. Rectify's just taking the sound right out of it. Big Crush is no good. I'm not a big fan of the resample sound here. I did kind of like distort. Now this might be, I'm going to switch over back and see. Yeah, you can see it's really pushing hard into our audio. This is because it's sounding better. It's making me think we've got a mixing issue. At least it sounds like a mixing issue to me, so we might not even want that filter. I'm going to turn it off for the moment, and I think this is probably where it's time to come in and go into the mix and start thinking about where we want different things to come in. So as I usually do, let's pull this down. I'm going to get the bass to hit around -9 dB. I'm going to now come over. Go to kicks. We just want kicks. I'm going to mute everything, the snares and the hats, just to make this easier. I'll just mute everything. We'll go back to mix. So if we come here and see, we can see that's like really coming in high. Let's pull it down so it's around -9 dB as well. Oh. Now all this is getting quiet, so I'm going to turn the master volume back up higher so you guys can hear it. We will come in. I just want to hear how I mean, that just sounds probably better to me. It sounds a bit more full, which without even needing that effect. Let's just go back and we'll see if we want that filter effect. And this is probably just making it louder. At this point, let's pull it down. It's got a little bit more high-end sound to it, so maybe it's okay to have it on, but we got to pull it down even further just because I overdrove it so much. So let's get back. Let's keep playing around. I'm assuming the snares and the hats are fine, but because it's in the same program, I'm not going to right now mess around. I'm just looking to see if we're peaking over -9 by a lot or not. So I'm just going to make the assumption that they're okay, but if you need to edit them, you really need to do it in the program based on how I'm doing this, or make copies of everything else, which all that could be a pain. Now we'll get into piano. Let's bring the chords in. Now these are overwhelmingly loud. Now I'm going to pull this way down, so it's like around -20 first, which already sounds like it's sitting in the mix a lot better. And presumably, if I bring the ARP in, should be pretty good. So let's mute those. Actually, even mute the snare and the hats. Let's bring in the strings. Again, super loud. We need to, maybe not super loud. I'm going to bring them below -20. They're sitting somewhere around -25. They're definitely below, but it feels pretty good. Or it sounds pretty good to me. I could think this could even go a little bit lower. Now, let's take the mute. The same problem when we switch over to the gated. It's going to be louder again. So, need to pull this back. And I'll just try and loosely target around -30. So, I know we were just all over the place. I was complaining about the bass not sounding loud enough, and we just got into mixing, but welcome to kind of my process for mixing. A lot of it's just kind of playing by ear, kind of seeing, but I try and get the lower end content to be higher in the dB space, so kicks, bass, sometimes it's other things. And then like the higher it is up the chromatic scale, I will tend to make it lower just because those tend to be easier to hear. And you really want to save a lot of your overhead for your volume for that low end content, because it's super easy to get that drowned out and then you can't hear anything, especially as that lower end content, you'll get stuck having to filter things anyway and EQ them. But this is just kind of where I usually start and when I'm mixing, to try and level things out. Now, having done all this, it probably means any future videos I do, one of the first things I have to do is then balance out where things are going to go. But it just seemed like a good point to talk about it. Anyway, guys, keep making music, keep having fun, stay dry, stay clean, wash the dirt out from behind your ears, and take it easy. Peace.